it's different for you and I. I'm an African-American woman. You get to walk around and be mediocre and you still get rewarded with things. We have to be exceptional.
Baby, spend it, baby, on me. Spend it, baby, spend it all on me. Spend it, baby, spend it. Shopping spree, Chanel, please.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Codenamechanel, and I'm back. But clearly I'm back with a topic. Okay, so I don't even know what I'm gonna name this video or whatever. Maybe why Black women level up is unique from others. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, then you know, like I know, it's all love. And you guys don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell below. Also, I have a Patreon. If you need extra finesse tips or any sugaring tips, I love to give them. So definitely join my Patreon. Tons of success stories. I have mentored women from all different walks of life from all over the world. South Africa, France, I mean everywhere. They pay for like a one-on-one mentorship with me, and I just give you guidance and kind of help you with conversations. And anyway, all on Patreon. Don't worry about that. So there was this one woman that I was mentoring, and she was really pretty. It seemed like she knew exactly what she wanted and how she wanted it. And it's kind of like she had the personality where she had like a dominant personality. On Patreon, I'll call it Dominant Donna. It's like, or Dominant Dana, whatever you want to call it. It's just a personality where you have more dominance and you're not necessarily like a submissive person. I consider myself pretty dominant. But I can be submissive if I want to, if provided with the funds. This is not to offend her. And I really enjoyed mentoring her for the time. However, she was a white woman. And there's a lot that I have to say. But the experience of a white woman leveling up is totally different than a Black woman, especially a dark-skinned Black woman. I'll give you guys a quick story time. So I created her a bio, right? I create bios on my Patreon. You can go on there. I literally feel like I do the best sugar bios, the best vanilla site bios to attract men who are going to spend money, and that's just facts. So anyway, forehead. I created her a bio, and I don't know. Let's just say the bio is just like, hey, you know, I would love to be in the south of France this summer, and just something. And she was like, well, I would rather like, you know, let them know more about my past and my childhood. And for me, I feel like all of that information should be, I don't know, you shouldn't be so forthcoming with exactly with your childhood, whether it was good or bad. You know, you want to build these things up. She was like, yeah, I want to talk about like how I grew up with like, you know, my mom struggled and my grandma had to raise me. Like, she was like, we need to interpret that into the bio. Basically like a small town girl from the trailer park to like, you know, to where I am now. And this was when I first started mentoring you guys. That's when I realized that everyone's experience is so different. Like it's just so that's when it hit me. A Black woman, first off, and then she said that she always put this type of stuff on her bio. And maybe that's why she came to me for help, because I don't think that was working. But she said that they like to know that she was from humble beginnings. See, with Black women, we could be from humble beginnings. I'm from the humblest. So I get it. But to put that on your dating site bio and still be getting people swiping right on you, it's just like we're not. And from my experience, Black women, we are not allowed to do things like that. It's just like a no-no. Like, I could create a bio for a Black woman, and if I put anything like that, it would attract people who are going to try to take advantage of you because they think that, okay, you're struggling or that you're not used to much, so this is what they should give you, versus them like, oh my gosh, she came from humble beginnings. Let me give her the Cinderella pretty woman story. Like, that's just not what it typically is. And you know, I love a good fairy tale. I love a good finesse.
Nice to see you, Mr. Blakemore.
Don Blakemore, haven't seen you at the golf course lately.
I love a good start from the bottom, now we here. But that's not the case with Black women whatsoever, unfortunately. That just wouldn't work with Black women. So Also, I want to talk about, I did a post before and I was talking about this woman who was like dead. She was like super broke and she got on like Seeking and ended up finding this guy that like swept her off her feet and stuff like that. And someone had commented and was like, well, yeah, this only happens for white and Asian women. And I don't want anybody watching this video and thinking, oh, well, the fairy tale is only for um white and Asian women or like for other races. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm actually saying is we have to dress it up just a little bit different. It's always been my advice from the beginning is to just already act like you have it. Because honestly, I really think that goes for everybody. I feel like, yes, other races get away with a lot of things that we can't get away with. Like, I get that. Like, I understand that. I just don't want anyone to feel like, because also the majority of the success stories on my Patreon, again, you guys, I know I always bring it up, are Black women. Okay? I want to make that clear. Not, oh my God, wait, what is she? I'm not sure. What kind of, no, they're Black. They're Black. So it's no ambiguously, you don't have to squint to see if they're Black or not. Like, the majority of the success stories are Black women. I give advice for everybody. Okay? Anyone can use my advice, but when I'm talking and when I'm giving advice, it is from a perspective of a Black woman who has leveled up, right? So when I talk about certain things and I'm just like, our level up just looks a little different. It has to be more cleaner. I used to say this all the time. Like, I used to say not to wear Party City wigs because, like, it's just, and you know, I'm not saying Party City wigs as if a wig that like is a bad wig, right? I'm not saying that as a wig like synthetic with a no part, because we already know what the girls are doing with the no part. They're reaching heights that no one can reach with those synthetic no part, invisible part wigs. Okay, I'm talking about like just like the colors, the Party City color, the green or whatever. A woman who was on my Patreon who had blue hair and she was of other, and I told her, I was like, yeah, you might need to change your hair color because you're coming to me for advice. And my advice is always going to be to like fit in but stand out at the same time. And it's a complicated formula. I mean, honestly, it's a formula that you have to understand. You gotta fit in, but you also have to stand out. And I feel like, you know, if you're coming to me for advice and you need help attracting better, like say if you attract good but you want to attract better, then yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell you. Like, no blue hair, no, maybe like burgundy or whatever, but like red, like fire red, pink, purple, orange, yellow. And I think everybody's journey is different and it's not one size fits all. But I also have to put it out there, like, I find it interesting when people try to tell someone or limit someone on what they can do. That is, to me, I don't believe that there's any limits for anyone who wants to better their life. Period, point blank. And if take what you want and leave what you don't. If the advice doesn't fit you for a coach that you're listening to or someone giving that advice on leveling up or hypergamy, I feel like it doesn't matter, because so I could tell somebody, oh yeah, don't wear green hair or blue hair, whatever, in my opinion, and then you wear blue hair and you meet the man that's going to change your life, or you know, start dating in better circles because you're blue hair. Who knows? You know, that's why you take what you want and leave what you don't. But I think that we also have to remember, like, to just be patient with ourselves, because at the end of the day, like, this really is a journey, especially for Black women. Like, I don't feel like it was any easy route because I didn't have an example of who to look at, like, or how to, you know, how to act or whatever. I don't know. Like, I really feel like I just didn't have nobody that was like, okay, you know what? That's a good example on what I need to be doing. You know, like I said before, there was no TV shows, there's no movies. Like, okay, yeah, you know what? This is what I want to do. And also the conversation about racism. So someone did comment, and I need to find that comment, but she said, this was commented on my YouTube video, and the YouTube video was why Black women should date out and keep their options open. I'm reading it, and she said,
I wish you would have touched on racism because that's my biggest concern. I'm sick of death of dusties, but I limited myself for too long from other races because I've experienced racism from random strangers by minding my business, and they be Hispanic, white, Asian men. Of course, I met a good man in the same races, but it's the fear for me. I attract all races, but I can't seem to take the plunge. Ironically, I used to date colorblind when I was younger. When I woke up and realized the history of what other races have done to my people, I have let them down on us and moved to the South, and I experienced some unprovoked racism, and it's disturbing.
It's a really long post, but basically she's saying that she is afraid to date out because of racism. And then she also said something about having someone understand her experience of like racism, like dating someone who would understand where she's coming from. That's the thing, like, even if I experienced it, right? Like, if I experienced like racism, like, nobody can go through that experience with me. No one can, I can't force somebody to understand me. I can't force somebody to feel me. So even if you're dating a black man and you're a black woman and y'all both have maybe experienced racism, I'm not about to bond over somebody because we both have experienced racism. Because that same man that you're gonna bond with, that we'll talk about a racist, these same black men will act oblivious to colorism. They don't know what a colorist is, but I swear to you, they could point out a racist with the blindfold on. So that's my whole thing with that, is there's colorism also in the sugar community and the level up lifestyle, right? And you just start dating men off their character, and I can't say this enough, just their character. Just their character. And if they all end up being white, ooh, what a coincidence. What a coincidence. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they all been being Asian, what a coincidence. To look at more what people are doing versus what they're saying. And that's why it's so different for black women. And that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all, what could be worse than what the fuck they got going on in this community? What did that, like, if you are in this level up journey and you are still looking at racism, you're still looking at, oh, I don't want to be seen out of the restaurant with this certain person, this is just not going to be for you. This is just not going to be for you. And at the end of the day, like, there's certain things that only certain people can experience. You cannot make this person experience what you experience. But yes, wanting a partner, there you go. With characteristics, wanting a partner that's going to be empathetic to you having a bad day, or empathetic to someone treating you wrong based off your race. Oh, bare minimum, find them. Bare minimum, find them. But who's to say a black man is going to even be sympathetic to somebody being racist to you? If it don't affect him, he probably not going to give a fuck. As black women, our level up just looks different. And like, I don't like to compare and contrast, because like I said, the majority of my success stories are black women. Been got to where I'm at right now, there was nobody that I could, kind of look towards. So I would always kind of see it as an example of the examples that I saw were white women, and seeing what they were doing in the movies. Like I said, watching their movies and seeing how they interacted. And in the grand scheme of things, watching movies like Pride and Prejudice and stuff kind of gave me the mentality of what I wanted. Like, I get it, but trying to mirror their level up experience versus our level up experience is totally different. It's a different route, whatever. But I would just rather see someone who looks like me. Is it wrong that I want to see someone who looks like me for example? But I appreciate what I was able to learn from the other communities of level up groups. Asian women, I did a whole Patreon live on Asian women and how they will rent hotels to take luxury pictures, to make sure to find husbands. They will pretend like they live a life of luxury, or they're an heiress, to attract men who spend money. They want the billionaires and the millionaires. They do it all the time. Like, go to my page. I did a whole video on this, and I thought it was so interesting. So I'm okay with learning from other communities, but I would just rather look at us and see what's going on and get advice from somebody that looks like me. Because my journey is just very different from other races. I'll tell y'all this right now, and I can tell y'all statistics because I have a Patreon that calculate the success stories. I'm gonna tell y'all like this right now, that the majority of black women who are getting the luxury trucks and everything, the Chanel bags on top of Chanel bags, the Fendi bags, the LV bags, the majority of women that are getting these type of things are getting them from white men. Everybody got to start from somewhere. Everybody got to crawl before they walk. So, ladies, keep asking, keep getting your amounts. I'm not saying limit yourself, especially as a black woman. Our level up journey is different, but it doesn't mean that it has to be different in a bad way. Honestly, this video should tell you that it is possible. It's a discussion. It's a topic. After we talk about colorism, after we talk about racism, after we talk about fetishization, whatever, You got, my camera literally died. But after we have these conversations about colorism and racism and all those things, life still goes on, and we have to find a way to navigate through all of this. So although it's a discussion that needs to be had, especially if you're talking about in relationships and, you know, stuff that you deal with day to day, or just experiencing racism or whatever like that, discussions need to be had, but then we have to move on. There's life during this. Okay, we probably won't be here when there's no more colorism or racism. I don't know, 100 years from now, I don't know. But as for right now, focus on that bag, baby. And then my freaking mic was off. But anyway, okay, you guys, I'm pretty much done here. If you would like to, follow me on Instagram, Codenamechanel. Follow me on Snapchat, Chanel Kid Herb. And follow me on TikTok, Codenamechanel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my YouTube channel. If you want to join my Patreon and support me on there, where I give exclusive finesse tips, the Patreon starts at $5 and it charges you the day you join and the first. So if you're interested, which I know you will be, and I'll be opening up all months for the group chat. So definitely, and I'm out. I'll see you around.